Continues our team coverage this evening live in downtown Springfield. Matt, what have people been telling you?
Well, Chris, we've heard from several eyewitnesses today regarding this 4.8 magnitude earthquake. They were talking to me, they were talking to some of our other colleagues, even those in the newsroom, sharing their stories about what they experienced. One of those folks stopped by our Western Mass News studios to share his story. This is Scott Alexander from East Springfield.
Realistically, nothing like I felt before. Like I said, my home was just swaying back and forth from front to back of the house. And after calling several people, which included my uncle down in Florida, because when he hears it, he immediately worries about me, and I confirmed we're okay.
Many people received similar calls from family and friends who heard about this rare earthquake in this part of the country. Thankfully, no one was injured and there was no damage seen anywhere across Western Mass. Reporting live in downtown Springfield, Matt Price, Western Mass News.